So I'm just going to do a little walk and share what I see. Maybe discuss various things depending on what you want to discuss, because live streaming is about the immediacy, about the participatory media, about being together and yet apart all over the world. Robert, welcome. Yes, Montenegro. And please join me on other live streaming services such as Hubs, which I am right now using, and also YouTube. And also Hubs has this new challenge, so I would like to invite people to join and participate. Smartphone, welcome. Thank you for joining all the way from Boston. So there is a new challenge. So if you want to score $50, everybody please um, take a look at that. Consider it requires 8 weeks of streaming once a week and 250 viewers. That's the new one, and I think deadline is maybe tomorrow or the day after. If you want to get on a Fidas, welcome. Hello, you're from Atlanta. Ah, okay, great. Yes, I was also greeting. Ah, right, Robert. Yes, you can't see that because I'm also Georgia stage. Right. Okay, wonderful. Welcome. So I'm actually seeing here because this is multicasting. Lee Tempro, great to see you. Hello. Uh, St. Valentine's dinner. Well, it depends because I actually don't believe in St. Valentine's. For me, every day is special. I like to take Salvador Dali take on that. Whenever I wake up, I feel an incredible rapture, and I ask myself, what wonderful things am I going to be doing today? Those my neighbor's dog. No, these are the different. This is at the waterfront right now. Actually, look at this beauty. The other day when the stream wouldn't start, I was actually at the waterfront. So by the way, people from Periscope and YouTube, you are not seeing all of the comments because I'm streaming the home app that I'm streaming from is haps.tv at Arena Ideas. And so that's why if there is some confusion in my interaction, it's purely because it's purely technical. But I would urge everybody to migrate away from Periscope. At least all the others, you're most welcome to join. So look at that crystallinity of the water. Amazing. I was just actually filming a bit of artistic video of this, what we see, the movability that the water gives us, this sense that everything is much more alive than what it may be in the physical sense. By the way, how is the video and sound? So to think about the dinner. Kuala Lumpur, Hasnain, welcome, and also special thanks to you. Especially thanks because I think it was you, right? The other day when you told me to change when I was in a studio, and this is literally, I only used studio a few times, so it was a bit awkward. I was trying different settings, and then I think you told me how to get it right, and then I was enjoying it on the next. All clear, excellent, thank you, wonderful. So, and it's a beautiful all clear day. Look at that, it's just super energy, very peaceful. Yes, exactly. Hey Jay Opera, great to see you, welcome. Branson, everybody is in the morning, right? Except in Kuala Lumpur, you are ahead of the time. For me, it's about, what's the time? About 2 o'clock. Oh, there is something in the water over there. I wonder what's that. But look at these two suns that we are seeing in here. Very placid, yes. Very, very nurturing. Thank you, Hasnan, really. So I'm going to take a walk. There is a temporal waterfall over there. This is a familiar sight but for many, oh, why? Wow, right. Many hours ahead, actually. So I'm right in between. Most people are on the East Coast in America, I believe, Georgia and Boston and Branson. I'm actually not 100% sure where's Branson. I'm definitely going to learn geography now thanks to HAPS. Even in Periscope, it was quite good But on this app, because it's actually promoted hello from here and from there. It's very peaceful. And this is the mountain that oftentimes I was dreaming about with the scope friends. That there is something of a dinosaur. It reminds me of a dinosaur. I don't know what about you. Do you see some figurative shape in it? Because the more I'm painting, the more I'm thinking about the world around and what could it represent in this imaginary world that we are all it could be part of. Oh wow, minus 12. Wow. Well, in here the other day, in here it's actually capricious. I mean, generally it's a very mild climate, but right now I'm just in a t-shirt. uh, is it a t-shirt or this thing? Because I don't know. Anyway, prehistoric, isn't it? So, and by the way, sorry about the latency. I think there's still some latency on this. So the other day it was -3, and then it was raining and raining and raining. And finally today I also did yoga with a group of friends over internet, and which was fantastic on such a sunny day on the balcony. And then now I just want to enjoy a little bit of this beautiful sights and the ways how nature communicates. And I'm often thinking about all sorts of reflections and the mythologies that were created as a result of seeing the beauties, such a diversity. And it's also the grayness right now. But the sun is in this position like very low in the sky. So that also makes a very special way for the photography. So earlier on, I was taking some more photos. So let's get moving because actually it could be a little bit on a cold side very soon. This is one of the example of brutalist style buildings from the communist era. It's a derelict right by now hotel, and then some graffiti, and then this side is equally fascinating. Look at the colors, really beautiful. Sadly, some plastic in here that the water got out, which infuriates me that people would just do. I'm getting a lot of messages. Climb up there? Absolutely. Yes, I actually enjoyed it a few times. For some reason, not so much this year. Maybe it's the corona, all sorts of excuses. I don't know. I didn't go all the way up, but I was climbing a bit midway. Maybe we can put it that way. And I was painting a few times, and I live streamed it all the way up. There are many Austro-Hungarian fortresses on top of the mountains, and then there is also one very special site. We can't see it now because of the house and the huge canine in it. But there is a prehistoric site. I have to climb over here. Okay. Oops. Getting a snowstorm. Oh, wow. Well, keep warm and safe. I do miss the snow though. I was thinking to go somewhere north. Maybe there's still an opportunity, a possibility. But we'll see also because of all sorts of busyness, things to do. Gregory, great to see you. Wow, I haven't seen you for ages. How are you? Thank you so much for joining. Wonderful to see you. And also seeing you on this that you have already migrated here. Actually, I think you migrated at the very early stages of my exploring the Haps app. The sun in the sky, the sun in the reflection of the sky. Exactly placid as J. Opera said in here, and also prehistoric. The West is better. Yeah, that's in my place. Better. Okay, right, right. Yeah, well, in Belgium, I suspect it's still raining. Actually, in here, it was a Belgian weather just until this morning, literally. It was so much rain, rain, non-stop. But now it's as if nothing happened, you know? It's a true case of the sun shining after the rain. Post nubila febus, is that it? I think so. The Latin saying. Raining and snowing, right? Oh, it's snowing even. I thought it was snowing because of the humidity, maybe. That's interesting. So I think everybody is kind of getting out a little bit to get the energy of this place. I also want to touch, maybe I'm going to touch it in here. The Earth's better in the other, yeah, actually better in the other place. I want to touch the sea. Oh, cool. Hey, Dave, thanks so much for joining. Wonderful. Nemanja, hello. High five. Dave, thanks for joining. Wonderful to see you in here. By the way, are you streaming? Am I following you here? Actually, I can't check that in here. But it was absolutely wonderful. By the way, everybody, Dave is fantastic live streamer from the now in Japan, sharing the amazing culture, the amazing information. And the other day, I just stumbled upon his stream on YouTube about the Giger, the maybe I'm not pronouncing properly. Actually, one of my when I was a child, favorite sculptor artist. He also has these amazing paintings, and he's a little bit involved with the popular culture in the sense that his sculptures were used in the movie called Alien. Thanks, Dave, for the super high five. We have snow. Ah, really? Belgrade, exactly, Neman. Of the sunny day, definitely. He said, "Thank you so much, Greg." And I was really, really enjoying it. That kind of a creature that opens the mouth and then grabs whatever it is. I mean, the imagination of his work and the internalizing sense. There is a lot of I think, the anatomical, because when I see his pieces, it's reminding me of the human anatomy of different parts of the body, and there is something deeply resonant. At the same time, also some of the drawings. Thank you, Greg, for the appreciate you award. I definitely appreciate you as well. And and then also for the drawings, there is a lot of futurism. He's treating the female body in all metallic in some of the pieces that Dave actually shared. It was very impactful. I really enjoyed that exhibition. And the beauty of live streaming as well is in that it's so spontaneous, and it really feels much more like as if we have really visited the place rather than just on a video, just pre-programmed video. So yes. And then so now I'm just going to, maybe I will go now towards their temporal waterfall. Beast and machine merging. Exactly. Man, beast, and machine merging. Because that's exactly the condition of our society, isn't it? We are trying to find, maybe cultivate what's beastly, maybe use it, because throughout various movements in the history of art, a beast was sometimes, for example, the Fauvism. That was, in fact, the major inspiration was in the animalistic in the work. And then also we have, for example, the look into the indigenous cultures as well. For example, Gauguin comes into mind, and the perception towards the different cultures that have more connection to the, maybe, how can I say that? No, we're so beautiful, Nemanja saying in here in local language. Chris, hello, welcome. By the way, a funny, oh, here is the spring. A funny part of trivia. Nemanja and I speak different language. Cecilia, wonderful. Dobra, actually. Dobre is as in plural, dobra is in singular. So that's actually better if you want. But of course, for me, it doesn't matter whichever you say it. I appreciate it. Oops, sorry about this. Okay, there it is. So, yeah, oops, trying to use the wide angle lens sometimes it's not working because of all of this. So let's just switch a bit more, taking a walk there. So it's funny that officially it's called two different languages, but in reality it's exactly the same. I can perfectly well understand what he's saying, and he can perfectly well understand what I'm saying. Look at this cut into the nature. Canada, Kelvin, welcome. So please, well, exactly, what most welcome. Molin. Thank you, Kelvin, for joining. Please, before, if you want to keep in touch and still tune in the streams like these or the artistic ones, migrate on time over to either apps from which right now I'm streaming, or else YouTube, or else Twitter Live. So this is a former police station, and as I can see, this has been upgraded. Ecological state of Montenegro. Slovenian, yeah, Slovenian is slightly different. I could still, me and Neman actually in here, could still understand it, but some, maybe about 90%. Am I correct, Nemanja? Although it could be a bit lower. I think with Russian it's about 80% that we could understand. Although in my case, maybe it's a bit more because I was exposed to Russian, so a little bit more than the regular person living in Montenegro. But yeah, so it's the same root, Sanskrit, and then it's developed further to the Slavic. Tommy, thank you for the super, for stay safe award. Well, definitely we all have to. Thermogenesis within the what's thermogenesis? I don't know that word. Yeah, Nemanja, what's thermogenesis? Happy Gora, thank you for the subscribing. Happy Gora. I don't know what's thermogenesis. Thermo is something hot, and genesis. Oh, there are a lot of birds. Wow, look at this. Hold on a second. By the way, there is ornithology. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see. Do you see the flock of birds just hovering over there? You see, now ancients would be thinking about this as a sign. I wonder what kind of sign would it be? Genesis? What's genesis actually? Wonderful. So it's people that also know each other. So I would also encourage you. Serbo-Croatian is more related to Slovenian than Russian. Yes, I think so. I think so. Nemanja, are you still there? Is Serbo-Croatian more related to Slovenian than Russian? And then of course there is Slovak as well. Slovak Republic and Czech and Slovakian. Slovakian is in the state during winter. Bear. There are few bears, and here is also why there are so many springs. You see, this is literally a spring draining over there as a result of all of that rain. Call themselves with bear. People call themselves with bear. I'm not so sure. Do you think, in terms of the historic, bear as I think bear has significance in the Scandinavian, more in the northern mythology rather than in the Slavic. Like in the Slavic mythology, it's a Pirun. Then it's what's the name of the one that I actually dedicated the entire painting to? Svarog. Yes. Dave, thank you. Creative Genius Award, appreciated. But definitely not genius. So, and I think it's, yes, Svarog is an interesting story. Body of water, Kelvin, this is Adriatic Sea. So what we are seeing in here is the Boca Bay. Medjed. Okay. No, I know Medjed, but in what sense do you mean Medjed? Medjed, I love the mountain. Chris, thank you for the super heart award and buy me coffee. Wow, Dave, thank you. Let's appreciate everybody in here today. So what was that? Yes, I wanted to say about first of all, to address Kelvin, so this is Adriatic Sea. It's the Boca Bay. We're actually seeing in here a historic town. It used to be very historic, even pre-dating, even pre-Roman times. So it was called Rizon, and it goes back to the many, many centuries BC. That tend to be more like Austrians. Yes, that's very true. Very hardworking, very organized. A little bit like the machine bees with the Slovenians, whereas in the Balkans, like in Montenegro, there would be a lot of relaxation. Montenegrin people are famous for for just sleeping. There are literally all sorts of legends. You know, the 10 commandments of the Montenegro. If you have the chance to sleep, to lie down, you should never sit. If you have a chance to not work, and then it's quite funny. Yes. So yeah, Kelvin. So it's yeah, very sorry, sorry about the noise. Yeah, it's very interesting because so many cultures have been passing through this. All the mountains, for example, the one over there, and oftentimes Nemanja and I laughing about it. It's actually Teuta's fortress, and it's largely undervalued, I believe, by the local authorities in here because I think it should have been given more visibility for the people that are visiting, but it isn't. It's on a hard side to actually access it. But it's the archaeological site with many strata in terms of the excavation every year, except I believe this year, people from the Warsaw, from Poland, the archaeologists from Poland are coming over to do some excavation. And then they discovered, because this goes to the Illyrian kingdom, they've discovered a lot of the artifacts. The water is very cold, definitely, Tommy, and I'm going to Smugglers. And I'm also going to be checking that by putting the hand in, packed with cigarettes. Oh my God, Neman is now referring to a dark age, hopefully behind us, which happened during the transition period, because this used to be communist country, part of Yugoslavia, and then in the transition, when it's changed into a different system, everything went upside down. So as is could be expected, the war was nearby, and then a lot of people took the advantages of that to prosper materially. But that kind of prospering is a blood prospering, so it comes back to haunt. It's a bad karma, and a lot of and this was in '90s, so it's true that there was a lot of transaction in terms of the cigarettes and all sorts of other stuff. And it was the pass boat between Italy and Montenegro. This is the official ways. So we also have some snow over there. So it's quite nice. I mean, these mountains are way too far for me to actually take a walk to the snowy parts. But as far as over, you see this forest already came from Austria in 1800. Wow, that's beautiful. Now for you, Kelvin, it would be interesting also, especially since you are mentioning Austria. So this was Austro-Hungarian for a very long time, and I believe almost 100 years. So the result of the Austro-Hungarian, of course, the architecture, a lot of the architectural influence, and then also a lot of fortresses. And this is another thing that's a little bit underappreciated in terms of the, maintenance. So there is one fortress that I actually climbed that's over there. Another one is behind this mountain all the way up. There are several all across the bay, because as you can see, the bay is full of the mountain peaks. So the Austrians, what they did, they figured that we are just now underneath this hanging one that are draining with water. So underneath, so they, because it was the time predating the airplanes, and they needed to find the strategic positions. So there was a lot of community, a lot of people from Austria. Your interest, exactly, Gregory. Heard about that world context of sleeping arranged in Montenegro. That's true, Cecilia. Exactly, and I think they were winners as well. It's not too difficult actually to and not as much forest area there. Yes, Chris, that's also a good point. I think it's just the configuration of the terrain. It's very steep. For tourists, the famous fish of the eye. I don't think the restaurants are. Now restaurants have to learn how to deal with no tourists, because very interesting history. And then even don't get me started It's just now it's just bushes over here, so I'm going to maybe switch. And then when we are thinking about the want to visit, definitely, absolutely. And then also when we think about the Austrian, so there was a lot of very near here as well. There is a, I believe, probably one of the first automatized bakery. So they had a system for the flour for the things all the way from the mountain down, and then they had also the lift. They had it automatic from one place to another across the mountains. So the Austrians brought a lot of that kind of improvements. But when we are thinking even about the deeply historical, the Byzantine, the Romans, the even Greeks, there was a certain level of Hellenization before the Romans. So and then we have all of the mythological histories in that sense. You must go have a great time, Cecilia. Part of our, yeah, so it was no Austro-Hungarian Empire. Was about 100 years, more or less, because there was also Napoleonic Wars, and Napoleon was in here at some time, and then also it was fragmented. You would have some part of Boca Bay, for example, belonging to. Oops, now I'm actually passing one road which is a little bit iffy, so I have to be careful. Look at that. So, have you been occupied? Haha, Gregory, that's a good question. I'm actually passing this, so I have to be a little bit quick. Um, so, and I think when you think about the occupation, it's also merging with the locality. So I don't think that it's that we can think about this as just purely belonging to one and not on the other. Uh, being positioned at the crossroad of so many empires. At one end, we have the Roman Empire, we have then the Byzantine. That was also actually this was underneath the Byzantine for almost 1,000 years. Then we have the Ostrogoths, the Saracens that were coming in during the Middle Ages, now occupied Montenegro. Well, it's okay. It's in Yugoslavia time. It was, oh my God, how can it be that all this? Yeah, okay, I can pass through here because I'm very uncomfortable walking all the way. Oops, I'm just going to get a bit. Was everywhere. Napoleon, well, Chris, when we think about Napoleon, I was very impressed when I read this biography from Andrew Roberts, I believe. He's a UK historian, super smart, and defeated in your country. Yes, well, it was a Waterloo battle, which was the final blow, but it's so complex. The way how the rise of the Napoleon, actually, who comes from the Italian Corsica, am I correct there? Because my memory is just, I think, 32 kilobytes or something like that. Uh, Actually, his father was the first one to tell him, you should always align your forces with the winning side of the story. Never with, just know who is going to be a winning side, which I thought is a little bit hypocritical if we think about the absolutes of the idealism. But when we think about the practicality, if he didn't think like that, would he create for France what he did? Of course, at the expense of a lot of casualties, but if it was Napoleon, we wouldn't have the famous Louvre. We wouldn't have so much of the French impact. And also, first and foremost, the rule of law. I think that's where he was very inventive in terms of the meritocracy. And what I found, as far as I've been reading throughout the history, it's always when you have the meritocracy, the country can progress. If the meritocracy can be bought either by money or by alliances, idealism, politics, then it's going downhill. No, Waterloo, no, I haven't, uh, but maybe sometimes in the future. Quick history of the research. Thank you so much, Eopra, for being with us for so long and also for standing because I like to blab about things quite a lot. Like I'm not a historian, but for me, it's important to just read here and there, put some pieces in the mind, and then understand how it works. Because I think when I'm creating in the place, like in here, and if I'm being influenced by the environment, then it definitely is making this whole experience a bit more depth. Teach history at school? No, I don't think I would be methodical enough for that. But I have plenty of my own career things going on right now. Registration, yes, I like a lot administratively, but first and foremost for me, in terms of the honoring a human being. Of course, he was ruthless in some other aspects. Heavenly Dew, welcome. Thanks for joining all the way from Dallas. Yes, so, and then here we are in front of a monument from the communist era. Just going to switch because now we are very near the temporal waterfall. So this is how it looks like. In fact, I don't know, I was mentioning actually his book, the last live stream, I believe, Imaginary Cities by Darren Anderson. And through his Twitter account, which sadly is not operational any longer because he was bullied. So I realized that there is quite a number of accounts and of people that are very interested in the monuments from the communist era throughout all the Yugoslavia. Yes, view is just fantastic. I came in here to get some inspiration and then thought, why not share it? And look at the power of the water. Look at this. So this is just temporal. And by the way, can you guys hear me? Is it too noisy? I don't have my headphones right here because I didn't know that I was going to go. What year is it? Sorry, what do you mean here is it? Here is it in what was I talking about? Here is it about... you mean this one? Oh, sorry, this monument. Sorry, there is latency. So by the time I get the message, so this is just to the hero, to the 1973. This is 97. Yeah, waterfall. Sounds good. Is it, Chris? Thank you. Yeah, the monuments. Thank you, Greg. Sorry about that. There is a bit of latency. So this is 1973. I believe that this was written. This is officer of the sailing marine, if I translated it properly, because you can see in here that is the language. You see the language. Can hear. Oh, excellent. Good. Excellent. So yeah, another thing I want to share with you as well. Look at the shape of these stones. I was just started on the live stream being associated to the Jigger, the artist, sculptors, and then these stones actually remind me a little bit of his design, and that hole could be a source of some creature living underneath. Imagine living next to this waterfall. But the waterfall is a result of the underground lake. And oh my God, I just saw something desperate. I'm going to share because I think this is, let's just share whatever I see. Why not? Look at the amount of plastic there. Is this graceful for the plastic? But yeah, let's hope every so often they organize cleaning of this. But I think it has to be sorted at the root. So look at that amazingness. The scars of prehistoric animal. Wow, Greg, I love this. It actually looks like a hand is scratching, isn't it? Watch. Thank you. It's okay. It's okay. Actually, I'm standing just on this. I'm a little bit like a goat that way, Chris. Yeah, exactly, Gregory, about the plastic. So I'm actually quite comfortable with the heights. Oh, there is one person over there. Two people. Oh, there are two people there. Oh, now I want to go there. Look, there's two people there. Must be beautiful. Wow. Oh, Tata, Ashish, hello, welcome. Wonderful. So just, the sun is already behind this, yeah. I wonder how did they manage to get there? Maybe via here. Maybe I can try that. Let's try that. Or else maybe it's here. Could it be here actually? Hold on a second. If you see me flying, this could be. Oh, no, no, no. It's too steep. Okay. Back. Too steep. Definitely too steep. Yes. So let's go down, maybe a little bit explore on the other side. I think more people are also downfall. It's okay. Um, More people are actually gathering in here, which means I want to go. You know, I'm becoming asocial. I'm much more asocial right now than I was before Corona. I'm far more aware of the people around. It's a really beautiful, this waterfall. It's always reminds me of kind of a nice message that we are all of water, that how water is crucial for our survival. Look at that branch, just in a grayness, surrounded by all of this greenness. Size is vertical and small. Actually, that's it because you are tuning in from Periscope. So if you would like to, there is actually a link in the heading of the title, and it can lead you to the home app. Let's call it that way. A home app, which is Hubs. That's where I'm live streaming, but it's multicasting on Periscope and also YouTube, Twitter Live. I'm not streaming on Facebook because I have all of this conflict of idealism. Wow, look at this composition, the prehistoricity of that, and also the beauties of that, like the as if the land was boiling when it was forming. Actually, it's all limestone around us, and it's all formed by the water. So probably, who knows how this whole region looked like in the prehistoric times, with such a dramatic ups and downs. And sometimes I think that it reflects the humanity, because we as highly sensitive beings can pick up. Seen a waterfall, really? Yeah, Tommy, it's because it's only temporal. It actually doesn't happen all the time. Only after the huge rains, which we experienced in the last few days, it shows up for a few days. I doubt that tomorrow we'll have it. It's very possible that it might not be even there. So now I will try to walk down to the place where those girls are, um, because I'm curious. You know, curiosity killed the cat. So hopefully I wouldn't be the cat in this case, which also reminds me, my cat is sick. I don't know what to do. Any cat owner in here? She's not eating. I managed to get her to eat just a tiny bit, and now is weekend, so I can't get her to the vet until probably Monday. Uh, how do I deal with her? I tried giving her some milk, because I've heard the local knowledge is if she's eaten something that's a little bit poisonous, usually the milk could absorb or help her vomit it. So, but then she wasn't interested in it. And then I found the bowl empty of milk, which suggests maybe she had it in the meantime. The new thing you have noted in my only nature or anything else? The new thing you have noted, nature or anything. New thing in relation to what do you mean? Actually, I think that I mean in context of coronavirus, well, it's definitely more calm. It's more focused on itself, the country itself. I think also the people are a little bit calmer and realizing that maybe beside material benefits, there are many other things in life. Tell you guys about this camera work. I'm adjusting things in here. Oops, did I just miss the turning left? No, it's actually still some way. So I want to turn right, not left. You see, sometimes I say left and I mean right and the other way around. I hope that the stabilization is okay. I don't know how. Yeah, this part I have to be really fast because it's not pedestrian. Let's run. Okay. Don't want some lunatic driving like a crazy, like a bat out of hell, as they say. Mountain range, right? There is some snow, and there is so much grayness. Look at that grayness and orangeness. Maybe it's not orange. Oh, they've cut my favorite tree. Oh my God, they've cut the tree that I really love. This was a huge tree and now nothing. No wonder I thought I missed the turning. Why did they do this? Can't believe it. Thank you. Can't believe they cut my favorite tree. I'm just going down. Sorry. This way, which is downhill now. People will be super curious because this is the village within the village. Let's put it that way, because it's only a few houses around, and I want to get over there at the other end. It's a little bit in the shade. Yeah, it's kind of privatized, even though I think it shouldn't in that sense. So for some reason, maybe because everybody's looking into themselves, I'm far more aware when I'm talking and walking to the camera and to myself much more than before. Handling emotion, really, Chris. Yeah, that's what I'm concerned a little bit. It will grow back. I don't know how fast, because when you have those huge trees, but then I understand maybe it was endangering the road, maybe it was endangering people passing through it. So now that's something, Kelvin, that I want to learn more about. The names of the tree, because I really don't know. It's a big one. It has the small circular bubbles in yellow color. They cut them to grow much more. That's true, Gregory. Yes, but it is very rich. By the way, now it's quite beautiful. I want to share this side. Look, I'm at the waterfront. Yeah, big branches, maybe, Chris, because I remember it was massive. And then look at this, how special it is. So this is probably very old, this circular part, for people to comfortably just step into the ship, and then the old houses. So the houses would go all the way to the Venetian era. So this was very, very much influenced by the Venetians. Can I have a stomachache? How can I know that's smart bone? Is there a way for me to tell if she has a stomachache or not? Because I noticed that she tried to do her number one and number two, and as if there was some issues there. So I'm suspecting maybe her stomach is upset. But how do I solve that if she's not even eating? I was thinking to get some medicine from neighbors around, just to see. The temperature is amazing. Like, it's maybe even 17 degrees or 15. I'm just in the t-shirt. This tree has created some problems. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking as well about the tree. Yeah. So now this is probably very old. This pass, I love the pass like that. Okay, this is just telling you the story of tree. And then, of course, the view. Oh, wow. I have to take a picture of this. This is nice in terms of the view, in terms of the light, because we are in the absolute shade. Okay, and then I'm going to do it. So I'm taking a photo with this. See, that's it. One. Wow, so deep. The colors are amazing, you guys. This is just fantastic. Actually, I know Kelvin is so beautiful. Wow. So now a little story from the local knowledge, because in here it's all about sharing. So this place, it's popular. You can see there's a lot of derelict buildings. Supposedly, this is very problematic, not historically, but in terms of the karma. People were very focused on the material benefits, according to the stories of the locals, these two houses. So that's why they don't seem to have any more inheritors. So the ones who are distant relative are fighting for it, and then it's in the legal limbo land, if you can put it that way. So because they didn't want to mix with other people. They were very conservative in this area. Can only dream of that. Yes, but Gregory, don't be too traveling alone without your car. No, yeah, I'm not actually traveling. This is where I'm living now. Thanks to Corona, I had to stay in here for who knows, for undetermined amount of time. Now I'm going to be passing through some probably scary parts. Is the derelict building itself. Hold on a second. So how do I pass this? Wow, this is a bit like a... Okay, how can I... Is it passable first and foremost? Will I be greeted by some dog that's guarding the territory, territorial disputes? And of course, this is super dangerous. You see this thing? If I... Yeah. So this is next to the ship now. Yeah, so it's... And I've never been in here, by the way. I'm discovering this live with you. So I'm just staying in here because I can't travel. And this is my place. Current, look at this. Amazing, isn't it? Ah, there are stairs over there. And I hear the ladies, I think, to travel to Montenegro now. I know it's 15, yes, but I wanted to say also, don't be fooled. Right now, I'm just in this, but in the evening, it's going to be freezing, probably 1 or 2 degrees. So I would definitely need, and then the other day was -3. And some days before that was -7 or -10 even. Okay, the people are actually over there. From my home, actually it's not too far. My home is behind the boat, literally. There, over there. So the house where I'm swimming, the balcony. So let's spend some time. Oh, there is a dog, so there could be, hopefully they won't. He's probably guarding just his immediate territory. He wouldn't go as far as mine. So let's see in here what we have. Dinosaur mark, exactly, Tommy. Exactly, that's my thinking as well. And I just wonder, should I do a series of photos? Have a great day, Atif. Thank you. Actually, it's nice for you. Good night. For us, you can see, ooh, some kind of a strange old thing. Maybe I could do a sculpture out of this. You know, I actually love doing sculpture. First cold night, oh my God, -13. Wow. Actually, I was not born on the coast, so I was born in the central Montenegro, so I'm used to much cooler temperature, and genetically, because my Eskimo genetics, I'm not too concerned about being too cold. But the weather, very similar, right? Yes, so it's very capricious with all of the mountains and then the sea that we have and everything. So there's some people passing with the dog there. So I want to, yes, there it is. No. The only thing is if the, oh, yeah, actually there are springs just over here. I'm just walking over the spring. Hopefully I won't be walking through water on the way back because of the tide. There is another one of these creature stones. I love them. The weather's, yes, I love the creature stones. Wow, maybe this is the place that I could sometimes go for a swim. I mean, not during this weather, but in the summer or springtime. Let's see how far I can go here. Probably not too far. Ah, maybe this way. Will I be able to come back though? More plastic. Oh my God, and it's a huge amount of plastic. This is really degrading humanity. We were there, do you remember? And now I actually don't have a way to get further than this, it seems. This is where the girls were, and the water is coming. So, from North Alberta 30 years ago. Wow, right. Most south part of Canada. It's beautiful. Canada, of course, I've never been to. I've been just to America, and even that's just Eastern Coast, New York, Washington, Connecticut. But yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to take a few photos because this is literally the first time I'm in this particular place with these strange creatures of the stone. Look, this looks like a sculpture. This looks like a bit of a sculptural in its sense, but I can't stay too long because of the tide. I feel like a Pirates of the Caribbean. Actually, come to think of it, I don't know if this is a safe place to swim on because of the temporal spring and also all of the. I mean, there is a lake, there is a cavern from which that water is coming, and in the summertime, I even entered it. I'm intending to share a lot more about my adventures on Instagram and Twitter now that I'm confined to this place for a long time. Literally shows a lot exactly a lack of appropriation for God's beauty. That's so well said. Really appreciate that. Great Lakes area near Detroit, Michigan. Oh wow, it's beautiful, beautiful. The Great Lakes, of course, and then of course you would appreciate the appreciation of water, the sense that the water gives us. For me, it's very special. The Chinese say that the water, I mean, the old Chinese saying, the water brings wisdom, the mountain brings virtue. I think it's connected to the Taoistic. Lots of blueness, yes, blue water. And in here, now, I mean, in here it also depends largely to the position of the sun, because if you would recall, actually I don't know how many of you were with me since the beginning of this live stream, it was much more intense blue at the time, and now the sun has already dramatically changed the position. All the guys bring it. Thank you, Heavenly Dew, great, thank you so much. And of course you also bring such a positive vibes whenever you show up and join me on this. You respect the water, definitely. The one of the elements that's shaping the hardest of the elements, even the rocks and the stones, the structure of our earth can't really sustain all that the water. See, this is the road that I'm actually walking in here. I just wonder, can I go all the way up? No, I would rather go the same way as the one I came in. This is a touristic boat. I've never tried it, but I suspect it probably wasn't active this summer. Yes, so now slowly go back. This is a nice place for photos. Oleander, a poisonous plant that's associated to the Quinta Uta. And Quinta Uta is the one I mentioned also earlier on when I gave you a little bit of cut and polish stones. Yeah, me too. Did you see that actually? I don't know. I didn't probably stream that, but I actually took this when I was on the. But so nice to see that. Maybe connect with me and maybe you can tweet if you like, if you're on Twitter, to want to share the work that you do. Because for me, stones, very interesting. They have their own as heavenly. Oh, I'm running out of battery, you guys. So probably very soon I'll have to be finishing this because I also need to do some shopping and my shopping list is on the phone. So just a few more minutes hanging out and that's it for today. But it was really a pleasure sharing and walking, making it a healthy day. Yeah, this also requires the photo with the other phone because I have a streaming phone and a photo. Thank you so much, Tommy. I really appreciate you and all the comments and insightfulness, because I feel like when I stream this, it's as if, in addition to not being alone, it's also my experience is enriched. So it's really a pleasure. Thank you. To go and walk. Labrador dog, lovely. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And everybody, please also tune in, connect with me over Hubs or YouTube. It's Arena Ideas. Do something with the stones here in Belgium. What? With the stones in Belgium. And what do you mean, Gregory? See you soon, definitely, Calvin. Thank you. trees, the peacefulness. And I think once I get to the tree, I know the views. And then I'm going to be finishing this because it's 18%. And once it gets to 18%, this is just the iPhone 8 Plus. I have to take some songs. All right. I think, did you tell me that? All right. Of course. I know about that. I know about that. It's just that it's uh, actually it's a bit done also in other places. Oh, and also I've seen that I think in America especially, and then they would leave them on the beach, and then some people find it, and then it makes that day. For that now, so just to get up to the trees that have been cut, that I was lamenting. Hopefully, we'll see them in the springtime, growing stronger and more powerful, and uh, and also the rocks. And this is an interesting as well because very near there is the ancient drawings of the deers that date back to the Neolithic time. But that's a stream for another time. Thank you, Chris. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next time. 70% battery in here. I definitely have to finish. Maybe put them some. Exactly. People can find them and then enjoy them. And post them on FB. Oh, wow. Imagine that. It's a great idea, actually. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. See you. Have a great time.